Okay, so resolution time. It's New Year's. So let's each pick 3 things that we're going to resolve to do in 2020, and then we can do a show at the end of next year and see if we did them.
Oh my gosh. This is some real accountability.
Yeah, and I didn't warn you I was going to do this either.
You did not.
So, all right, Mallory, what are your 3 resolutions for 2020?
So I have a big listening audience to hold me accountable, which is a little scary. But that's what's important for New Year's resolutions, and really any kind of goal that you have in life is to have people that are going to hold you accountable. And those are the people that really love you, or the people that are going to hold you accountable for the things that you do. So my first one is a personal goal. This last year, I've sort of been pulled in just completely into the practice of law that I stopped going to yoga. I had this yoga class that I really love. It's down the street from my house. So my goal for 2020 is to go to a yoga class at least once a week for the year. So that's a personal goal. What's your first goal, Michael?
My first goal is to finish my trucking book. I have a contract with Trial Guides. I've been working on it, but I'm a little behind. And I'm going to have to be purposeful on just setting the time aside, because writing is also very, very deep work. And then it's my baby. I want it to be perfect. And if I'm going to say something, I want to make sure I get everything right. And so it's been a ton of work. I've learned a lot. I've actually got a much deeper understanding of things than I thought was possible, actually. I thought I got most of this after all these years. But finishing that book is my number one goal for 2020.
My second goal is, one of the things we're doing at our firm is we're bringing in an in-house graphics designer. Most of our graphics have been, we've hired contractors to help us with it. So one of my goals is to use more graphics in our cases, but at different stages of the case. Because right now we focus on graphics for trial, but I think that there's a real big place for really meaningful and purposeful graphics to be used during depositions and mediations. And that's kind of a challenge I want to set for myself this year.
I think that's brilliant. So many of the witnesses we end up calling, we work up these cases and we work them up in our in depositions, and then at trial, all these corporate people usually are not available. And so we've done all this work, we have all these beautiful graphics, and then half the trial is showing boring depositions of a talking head. And I think that having graphics to engage the jury, help them learn better, is going to be great, number one. Number two, when you do the work to create the graphic and create a visual storytelling plan for your case and kind of set it out, you see the holes, you fill them in, but you are so much better prepared for. When we've done this prior to depo in the past, the depo goes so much better because you've got a plan for it, you've thought it out, you're better prepared for it. And finally, it scares the fuck out of the other side. Excuse my language, but it scares the crap out of them. I mean, when you're at an early deposition and you're showing up with custom-made exhibits, drawings, models, it just freaks them out because they see how much more work you're doing than they are, and they're like, man, this must be a good case, or they wouldn't be doing all this. I'm behind, and it just absolutely starts the panic early. Well, my second resolution then is to stay on target, which is on the cases that I am taking a personal interest in is make my plan and keep it up. Get the depots set that we want to get, spend the time, spend what we call the work days on cases where we, shut off the phone, don't check email, and just work on a case for 6-8 hours at a time. But really keep up that thing and don't get distracted and don't get where we're announcing for trial and I still got half the things on my to-do list and I'm like, oh crap, I never did that. So staying on target, staying on focus, and not letting other people pull me away from the important parts of the case.
I think that that's so important. I think the workday is something that we've developed this year that has really, really been a game changer for our practice. And a lot of the workday we spend just thinking about things. It's just thinking, which is weird that you have to set aside time to turn your brain on and start thinking about something. But it really is just full concentration, all of your energy towards this case. And it's totally exhausting. I mean, you can't do it every day, and you can't spend every day of every week working the way that you do in a workday. But when you set aside the time, it gives you more energy to do it because you're excited about it. But then you're not pulled away or distracted by anything else. And so you can really get stuff done, even though it feels like you're just sitting around thinking most of the day.
Yeah. And then that gives you what you need to do to create your visual plan, to work with your graphic artist and everything else so that your depots go so much better. And then after the depots, you plan, what do I need to do next? What other depots do I need to take? What other documents do I need to get? Then by the time you get to trial, well, half the time, more than half the time, they don't let you try the case because they start throwing money at you. But the other thing is you are so ready and you're excited about it and you've tested it and you know you're going to win. And it's just such a better way to practice.